G'day everybody, this is a video that I again just planned on doing. I've actually subscribed to a channel on here. Hang on, I'll get the name of it. Some people might think it's morbid or what, but the channel name is Ask a Mortician. And this person, amazing person, she talks about death and what happens to you after you die. Just different scenarios of dealing with a body and everything. Excuse me. On one thing that was come up on one of her videos about exhumation was about suicide, and someone responded to them to a comment about it on how our coroner described suicide. I don't know how many of you know that I have actually tried that. Let me see, 8, 9, maybe 10 years ago. I was home, and I was still hearing coughs, and something happened. I know what happened, but I'm not going to talk about what happened. Just, it set me off, and I got the pills I was taking for my depression. I got some water. I went and sat on my bed, and I just started taking these pills. And suicide is something that should be talked about. It shouldn't be scared to be talk about suicide, because you don't know how many people are out there who've actually tried it, and they might feel embarrassed because they tried it, but they should not be embarrassed, because trying it means is a call out for help. I did take myself. I did call an ambulance to take me. I can remember laying in bed, and they arrived, and I was just so sick of this world, sick of living. So I had to get up and get changed. I just got changed in front of them. I was in that state of mind where I didn't care. And it's funny, I realised that one of the Ambo guys is a guy that I knew. And I don't know how he felt, because he was a driver of the ambulance. When I was sitting in the back, he looked in the mirror at me, and I looked back at him. And I remember getting to the hospital. They wheeled me in. Then I needed to go to the loo, and they had to make sure that I was okay. I thought, why? Then I went in. They put me in a cubicle, and they had to take blood tests, see how everything was. When all had done, they actually sent in the mental health nurse to talk to me and ask me questions about things. And there's one thing that this nurse said, that this mental health nurse was amazing. He said to me, it feels like you've been abandoned. Which is weird, because a few years after that, must be nearly 4 years, I think it is, 5 years, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, which part of that is abandonment issues. So, the funny part is that when I finally went home from the hospital, they actually gave me my pills to go home. I had an appointment the week after to see a mental health doctor, which was the worst thing I ever did, going to see her, because all she concentrated on was me getting HPV. She said it was my fault, that I should have made the guy wear a condom, which is absolutely ridiculous, because HPV can be anywhere. I mean, it could be anywhere. I didn't go back. I walked out and I did not go back because I was there to talk about why I took the pills, and all she could talk about was how I got HPV. My fault. This was a female doctor. I remember when I was over Tamworth year before last, and I was talking to someone over there, and I told her this, and she was shocked that a doctor had said this, that it was my fault. HPV can be on hands, it could be around the genitalia, it could be anywhere. It's not just on the penis, it could be. Even HPV, if you don't know it, it's human papillomavirus, is actually a cause of cervical cancer. And to get cervical cancer, you don't really need to have sex. Because my gynecologist who I was seeing, he said he had a nun and she had cervical cancer. Now, what I'm going to read to you now is something that was commented on this video I was watching, and it explains a lot of things. I don't know if I've said that. I'm going back a long time. I can't remember how many years. My oldest sister's husband, he suicided. And I never thought that I would do it. And they say that suicide is a sin against God. But in saying that, Terry had a Catholic cremation. There was a priest there and everything. So, and he would have known how Terry had passed away. But the one thing I always wondered, what was put on Terry's death certificate and how he died. It might have been asphyxiation because of the way he died. I know my sibling who always gives me a thumbs down, if she's watching this, she'll probably expect that I've been talking about this. But why? It is also talking about my attempt at suicide. I'm not sorry that I did it, because I know now that I would never do it, because I knew I failed, and why try something that you failed at, especially when you tried to end your life. It is hard to talk about, because in the last 4 years, I've actually thought about it. You know, the thought is always there, but even though the thought is there, it does not mean I'm going to do it. I've actually told my psychologist I was seeing, I said, I've actually had thought about it, but I said, it's not going to do it because I tried it once and it didn't work. And, you know, and who knows, if I did try it again, I might not succeed, but then I might damage myself, and which would make it worse for me being alone as I am. So I'm going to read you this comment that was on this. I actually copied it into a Word document, and I'm going to, this is actually from a coroner. This is how he actually described suicide. There was a coroner who once stated that suicide is a side effect of mental illness like depression. So therefore, on death certificate, he didn't list suicide as cause of death. He listed it as a complication due to mental illness. It is not shameful or bad. It is the only way out of suffering that a person believed they had. That means that medicine and psychiatry needs to offer more to people in this state. They are not bad people, just ill people who need our help to get well. But in saying that, depression, a lot of people suffer in silence. They don't want to talk about depression because people think, how can you don't look depressed. I've actually been said, that has been said to me by someone. They said to me, oh, you don't look depressed. what do they expect person to look like? Depressed person. If we had cracks over us when we're in a bad place in depression, they would know what depression is, that it's an invisible illness. It's not something that we can say. Sometimes it's hard to describe what it is. Sometimes when it affects us, it's just something we like to keep to ourselves, especially me, because one thing that affects my depression is rain. When we get a lot of rain, it does affect me. Especially when it's continuous and continuous and continuous for days like we've had. And it really does. That's when the thoughts of ending it do come in. But I get through it. I don't know how I get through it. The thoughts are always there. I can remember not long after I moved to where I live now, and we had really heavy rain. And I thought my head was going to explode because the pressure was there, and it was rough. And the state I was in, back then, I did really think of how I was going to do it. I just needed to get rid of the pain. And that is why people do end. There's something's happened and it sets them off, and they think about, some people, there are different ways, like I did pills. There's people who, they hang themselves, they shoot themselves. They even jump in front of trains, which has happened here in Coffs Harbour. They gas themselves in the car. They do whatever they can to do. They jump off bridges, do whatever way that they feel that they can end their life to get rid of the pain they are feeling. Sometimes, actually, I didn't realise that I was feeling in a pain until this incident set me off, and it's just like, that's it. I have had enough of this life. I'm going to do it. Anyway, there was a funny part of when I did take those pills. I can remember on the bed I ran out of water, so I went to the kitchen to get some more water, and I trod on some, I think it was part of a mug, because I was sitting on the lounge before this, and I just got up and I threw something. I must think it was a mug or something. I was good at throwing things. Even when I was younger, I can remember throwing things. And I can remember when my foot was bleeding, and when the ambulance guys come, they must have missed the blood on the floor. They probably didn't see the blood on the floor. I said, I could have bled to death, and they did not worry. I know it's not funny, but I could have bled to death. And they didn't think the blood, they didn't look where the blood was coming from. But so depression is an illness. And as this guy said, suicide is an effect. It's a side effect of it. So please, if you know someone who has attempted it, if you know someone who has actually succeeded, and you got family members or friends of that person who are saying, why did they do it? Why didn't they call out for help? Why they're bad people because they're chickens. They took the easy way out. It's not the easy way out, you know. And some people say, but what about the people they leave behind? What about their feelings? I'm here to tell you, when you go on in that situation, you do not think about anything else. You do not think about other people. Why? They don't think about you. And then at that time when they are doing this to end their life, they are not thinking about, all they're thinking about is getting rid of the pain that they are in. That's all it comes down. It's internal pain, which can be very hard to hang on to. Some people suicide for different reasons as to why they do it. Mine was to get rid of the pain. I just wanted it to stop. And the pain is still there. I think it always will. I know, in the last 4 years since in Malaysia, there are times when I really thought about doing it, that I was sick of living, because of what a certain person put me through, the way she treated me. She made my depression worse. She brought out my borderline personality disorder, which main thing was my abandonment issues. And I don't like really talking to people about that. I can remember after I took the pills and that, I think I was on my way to work with another taxi, and I was telling her that I tried to kill myself, and she said, no. I said, don't do that. I said, unless you have been there, please do not comment on suicide. And that is one thing I want to say. If you have never been to a place where you wanted to end your life, please do not put down others who have tried. If they're a friend or relative or whatever, maybe take someone in slowly getting back into life. Spend time with them. Just make sure they're not alone, because that is the worst part, when you feel like that there's no one there. But on here, I do have this beautiful person on here who, when I'm going through a bad space, I reach out to her. I'll let her know what I'm going through. I'll let her know what I'm feeling. And I'm going to say it here that I won't, even when times are tough and I do think of it, I won't do it. Maybe not crazy. I could be watching a show where a person is dying and this person dies, and I think, why wasn't that me? Then when they actually survive a person they bring them back, I said, why did you bring them back? I know it's only a TV show, but that's what I think. You know, if I was in a situation, why did they bring me back? Maybe I should put a DNR on my medical records. If something happens, do not bring me back, because back to what? Life is hard. I mean, life is bloody hard. Especially when you grew up in a family like I grew up. They didn't give a damn about anything. All they thought about was themselves, when I feel that they were also a main cause of the way I am. The way I was brought up is the way I am. But in saying that, I'm more outspoken now. I'm not scared to say anything, not scared to actually voice my opinion, because I feel free down here, free away from the family, free to say what I feel, what I think, and not getting put down because of the way I think or the way I feel, which my family has done. And that is crazy. Family should be there to lift you up, to support you, but my family never did that. They couldn't give a damn about it, anything I did. As long as I helped, if they wanted me to do something, they would ask me, I would do it. That's all they wanted. I can remember once one of my siblings asked me for something, and I said no, and this person was shocked that I actually said no. And maybe I should have started earlier. I don't know. And this is Teddles. Teddles, I've had him for I think it was 2004 Christmas I got him. So I've had him for 15 years. I got him just after Christmas. I'd just been to the doctor about my anxiety. And I walked back through a shopping centre at Kingscliff and they had all these Christmas things out for half price. He cost me $3. And he has been there when I've been through bad times, crying, something to hold. He was there, he took my tears and he was there to be with me. And when no one else would. And if the people out there did not like this video, I'm sorry, but I don't care. This is my life. This is my talking about suicide. Please don't, I forget what I said. Please don't put people down because they have that thinking, why did they do it? What about the ones left behind? How do they think they were going to feel? Oh, blah, blah, blah. That is the problem. People think about themselves. They don't think about the person who is going through a bad time. And when they do make a reaction, they think they're gutless in doing what they took the easy way out. When I get some response, it's just, but when I've seen this comment on how this coroner actually describes suicide, it's actually a side effect. That is so amazing. And I feel that God thinks the same way too. I hope he does, because maybe it was him who held me back. I don't know. But I don't know why I'm still here, because in essence, I don't want to be here. I really don't. But I'm stuck here until my number's up. I don't know what the future is holding for me. I don't know what is going to happen to me. But in saying that, as long as I'm here, I'll be doing videos for YouTube. And if I want to talk about suicide and depression and mental illness, I will talk about it, because this is my channel. My content is what I depict on my channel. And it's the same for you. Whatever you want to put on your channel, you put on your channel. If no one likes what you put on your channel, they're the ones with the problem. Never hum and ha about, should I put this on my channel? How will people like it? Don't worry about it. Just don't do what you want to do. As I said, I do what I want to do. As if you've seen my chat, which will be made public later, or whenever this gets up. After Tuesday, I won't be doing any speaking videos, because I won't have any teeth. Watch my chat and explain, Annette will explain to why. And so I hope you've understood more about suicide. That is actually, it's a side effect to mental illness. So if you know someone who does have a mental illness, maybe ask them around for a cuppa, but don't talk about their mental illness. You know, just say, would you like to come around for a cuppa? Would you like to go out for lunch? They asked why, but I thought maybe we should do it. You know, get into a regular event. Do something that will bring them out and get them doing something to spend time with others. I just wish I had someone here that will actually do that. I've got no one here in Coffs Harbour to go out and have lunch. When I go to lunch, I have myself. It is sad, but I'm not. If I want to go out for lunch, I will go out for lunch because I want to. So everybody, thank you for getting to the end of this video. It might sound morbid, but I think it had to be said. I had to share what this person actually put on there is about suicide. And as I said, just a minute ago, if you know someone who has a mental illness, ask them for a cuppa. Ask them to come. Ask them, would you like to go out for lunch, or would you morning tea, you know, or bake a nice cake and just turn up. Would you like to join me for a cuppa? I brought a nice cake or biscuits or whatever. Just do something and get into their life. Maybe that will actually lift them up for you just turning up one day unannounced. Yeah, you know, even if your friends or whatever. Even if a neighbour that you know is alone, maybe just turn up one day with a cake or a biscuit or something where you can have a cuppa and you can sit down and chat, whatever. Because that does mean a lot to those who do have mental illness. Even they don't have a mental illness. You don't know a neighbour who does not have it. If you know they're alone or something, just turn up, you know. Just do something for someone else. I know I should, but because of my issues I have, it is hard to do that because of rejection. And which is hard. And getting through rejection, getting through used to not rejection is hard. Because I've been there. My ex, she rejected me so many times that at the time I did not realise what it was, but it was rejection. And until I meet someone who I can trust, this is always going to be there. But I think in essence of that, the rejection thing will always be there. Talking about different things, talking about mental illness, brings it out in the thing. So everybody, thank you for listening. If you got to the end of it, I thank you so much for doing that. When I read this on there, I just cried. I mean, I just cried that someone, a coroner, understood. Sometimes it is hard to describe. I think that's it. I always wondered what this coroner, that's what he puts on his death certificate. But what do other coroners put on a death certificate of someone who has suicided? You know, what do they put? We don't know. But maybe it should be known that coroners should put side effects of mental illness. Complication due to mental illness. That is what it should be known as, a complication to mental illness. That is what suicide is and always will be. So in saying that, again, thank you for getting here. Me and Teddles, thank you. Thank you to all my subscribers, and I should go this again along. So everybody, I'll see you in my next video. I got at least 2, 3 I want to do today and tomorrow, so I got to do that. So everybody, take care, look after yourselves, and be kind to one another. Be careful in what you say and how you say it, especially when it's via text or via email or via whatever. Sometimes if you say something to another person, it could be said in a different way. They could think it's in anger. They could think you're attacking. You could think you don't know. Just be careful of what you say. And that is it, because you don't know who has a mental illness that could trigger them to do something. And in saying that, I am going to have some yogurt. Once I get this video going, have some yogurt. And then I'm going to clean my teeth and get in and clean up. And I will see you in the next video. So bye-bye. Teddles, thanks you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you, Joanne. Bye.